And welcome back into Coleman today. I'm Debbie Wood, and our very special guest today is Speedy. Speedy from the Rick and Bubba show right here in, actually right there in Birmingham, Alabama. We happen to be at Smith Lake RV, beautiful resort down on the beautiful Smith Lake. And welcome. Welcome to Coleman.
Well, thanks for having me. It's absolutely gorgeous here.
Isn't it beautiful? Now, you've been to Coleman, but never to Smith Lake?
Well, yeah, it was a long time ago, but I was in and out quick. Okay. I've never had a chance to just sit down and enjoy it, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
Isn't it gorgeous? Well, we're so glad for you to be here and be a part of our show this morning. But I want to talk to you. Of course, I know a little bit about you.
Sure.
More than what I thought I did. Your claim to fame, or your claim to Coleman fame, I should say, is several years ago, maybe 12. Let's see if this rings a bell. 15 years ago, you came to Coleman. My youngest son, who happens to be 26. Ooh. They took him. They took all those kids from East Elementary over to West, and they suited you up.
Yep.
And they sent you running, and they turned the drug dogs, the canine dogs, on Speedy. Did that really happen?
Oh, yes, it did. I have my right shoulder can tell you about it still to this day. Wow, I'm old. Are you serious? He's that old now?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. What a day. You know. And I wish I could get out and do more Speedy adventures now, because it's like therapy for me to just get out and do stuff like that. Yeah. But I had an opportunity. I was contacted to see if I could come out for the DARE program and you know, do this running, and a canine will jump on you and all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, sure, that's not a problem. And then I get there, and it's like it's real, you know, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that thing's going to attack me?
It's more than what you thought.
Yeah, they're like, put on this suit and then just run, and then we'll release the dog, and then all of a sudden you'll hear it and it'll tackle you like you're in a football game or something. So I'm running, you know, I'm trying to run, you can't really go anywhere, and all of a sudden I hear this, and here comes this dog, and it just took me down, and oh my goodness, it was real. And you thought, hey, it's over. Right, I survived it. And then they talked me into putting on some arm sleeve and standing here like this going, come on, let's go. And it jumps on me, and I think in the paper it had a shot of me actually holding the dog up, and it had a clamp on my forearm like there was no tomorrow, and the kids loved it.
Oh, the kids still remember it.
Oh, and it's still a best of moment for Rick and Bubba. Really? Yeah. One of my interns is going, run, Speedy, run!
And of course you did. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now, is that where you got your name? I know it's not, but how did you get your name?
Well, you know, and I'll try to make it quick, but we had a general manager way back when Rick was doing mornings by himself, the morning extravaganza, and Bubba was the chief engineer. Right. And at the time, can you believe my name was Kevin Calloway? I had a radio consultant tell me that was my name, and so I was doing afternoon drive. And I was doing afternoon drive, but I was still production director, and you know how you wear about 10 hats in the building. And then I had the opportunity to also become program director. Well, about the same time, Uncle Bubba would be in the studio, and he'd be kind of messing around with some, you know, some knobs and this, and then Rick would start throwing things. Suddenly they started kind of becoming more of a pair, like once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. Well, it got to be about 4 or 5 times a week, and they pulled me in the office and said, hey, we want to get you to be kind of the third wheel, the producer, maybe get out on the road, do some things. But you got to keep doing everything you're doing. You can't stop being promotions director, production director, program director. I'm like, oh. But I was single in my 20s, yeah, so I'm like, okay, that's great. And they're like, but we want to give you a cool name. You know, something that if you're out on the road, you can kind of, you know, go out and we can, you know, pitch it to you and you can just get in trouble. And one was, I think Bubba came up with a great name. It was Calvin the Van Man. And Rick said Road Runner or whatever, but the general manager at the time, he said, what about Speed Racer? And at the time, I had so many CDs and so many things because I was DJing weddings, fraternity parties, receptions, all these things. And I said, hey, I've got a compilation disc of like all the old cartoons and it has the Speed Racer theme. What about if you just pitch it to me, we hit that theme, and I just get in trouble, and the character just absolutely took off. Over the years, because of the national syndication and stuff, it's kind of gone down to Speedy because of copyright and all that. But and so that's how I got the name. It's not that I'm really that fast, even though I can run pretty good, but it's more of just being on the road and doing things and getting in trouble.
I could see that in his eyes, folks. Yeah. For some reason, I just picked up on that just like that. But you know. and I think that's great. And how many years have you been with Rick and Bubba?
I've been with them, I guess, 6 months shy of how long they've been together, and we're on our 21st year. So it's been right. We had our 20-year anniversary tour last year, and we got to tour around and go to some great markets. And so I've been with them the whole time.
See, isn't that exciting? And you guys have grown, and we were talking about. You were mentioning being syndicated. You know, when you first started out, it was just the Birmingham market area, and then all of a sudden you had this vision, and I'm sure it was all of you. You had a vision, and you grew into the syndicated business. And how easy was that to evolve into that? And folks, I apologize. I've been out here since about 10 o'clock. Speedy is cool. He is not sweating a bit, but it's just rolling off of my face.
You're doing great.
But, how did that come about? And was it a difficult process to get syndicated?
Well, you know, and you know this. I mean, radio and TV, it's really tough because you know, you're at the mercy of the latest owner and their vision of what they want to do. So when we started out, you know, we were in Gadsden, Alabama, and it really, to be honest with you, we kind of, when it came to the Birmingham market, Tuscaloosa was our first affiliate. And we always thought big. We had one affiliate, and we called ourselves the network. You know, it's like the Rick and Bubba network, you know, because we wanted to sound big, but we had great vision. And when the signal that we were on was moved to a Birmingham metro signal, they left us on too long, because I think their vision was, we got to get rid of these redneck guys, or these southern boys. We got to get rid of them, and they left us on for about 6 months. And you, the listener, got us to the top 1 or 2 in ratings within that period, and they were like, oh my gosh, what's happened? It's too late now. And
they're here to stay.
Yeah, exactly. And so we started this process of you know, building our brand in Birmingham and then Tuscaloosa, and that kind of branched out from central Alabama up towards Huntsville. And before we knew it, it kind of grew a little bit larger, where it was kind of southeast, and then now we're in Alaska and Florida and everywhere else. But it's been tough because we want everybody to be able to hear the show. And it's tough when you're owning a market and you have a 2 or 3 year contract, and then in that 2 or 3 years they have new ownership and they change, and we get emails of people that are heartbroken. How do I find you? What do I do? And so, but we love the medium. We love radio, and then with the Heartland Network, we got the TV side, and then with the TuneIn apps and all these iHeart apps and stuff. Now with smartphones, you can hear us wherever you go, and so that helps us a little bit. But you know, it was tough at first. I mean, we kind of got stuck on 15 to 20 affiliates for years. And then all of a sudden, you know, we met a great guy named Bob Carey with SSI, and is a syndication company out of Connecticut, and he really got us that national exposure. And before you knew it, we were at 60, and it just kept growing.
Well, and are you pretty much in all 50 states? I mean,
just about, yeah, just about it. When you go, I mean, we're not on a signal in each 50 states, each of the 50 states, but with TV and everything else, when you add them together, we're covering. And then when you have the TuneIn app and others, you can, no matter where you're going, you can pick up the show anywhere in the world now.
And that's wonderful. And of course, all of us Southern people certainly know that it's wonderful. I have 3 boys, and they don't listen to anybody but Rick and Bubba, and Speedy. That's right. So they can tell you a lot. I tell you what, they've learned a lot. But we just welcome you to Coleman County, and we're just tickled to have you here and at the beautiful Smith Lake RV Resort. And I'm sure this will not be Speedy's last time to come and visit after being here. And we invite the entire group to come back and enjoy. And before we close out today, I wanted to ask, anything on the horizon for you guys? Any kind of shows? Anything going on that we want to help you promote? Anything happening? You know,
we're just constantly doing what we do. Rick next week will be on vacation, so we'll kind of do some best ofs, and Greg and I'll host, and Bubba will come back in. And you know, we're probably going to have turkey toss later in the year. Look, maybe in Gardendale this year. We're kind of focusing on that area because we tried to have it at Gardendale First Baptist Church in their huge parking lot last year before last, and it got rained out. So we might try to revisit that. But no, just keep praying for us if you would. You know, we are attacked every day by those that don't want to see us succeed, but we know that God is shining down on us, and He has blessed us tremendously. And so just keep praying for our families, keep praying for the company to make good decisions, and we just thank you for having us today. I've already texted my wife and my 3 boys and said, you're not going to believe what I'm seeing. They're like, Daddy, I want to come.
They want to be here.
And I told them they should have come on the remote with me, and they didn't.
Absolutely. See, kids, you could be here, and you could be on those YOLO boards, on those kayaks, and so you have have 3 boys.
I have 3 boys, 18, 13, and 11.
Wow.
18-year-old's about to go to Jacksonville State and play baseball.
Congratulations.
And then the 13-year-old, he's turning 22 in his mind. And then the 11-year-old's trying to keep up with him. So it's nonstop. My beautiful wife, Terry. So we got a big family.
What are the boys' names?
Tyler, JC, and Reese.
Okay,
And
so he's got a Tyler,
oh,
so
yes.
love them boys. I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. Great boys, and thank you. And we do pray for y'all. And
Thank you.
and we should. Each and every one of us that's watching the show today should be in prayer for all of our TV station for their shows, and because we do try to bring you the best that is, and always keep our number one. God is the one that So anyway, we just invite you to come down and check out Smith Lake RV Resort right off of 222. If you're coming from Highway 69, you'll take a left onto County Road 202, just past Big Bridge. If you're coming from Crane Hill, you'll come out until you almost get to Big Bridge, and you'll take a right on 222. I'm sorry, on 202. So we'll be back.
It easy. It was easy.
Did you?
Yeah.
You came straight to it from the
Yeah,
interstate?
Larry and Sandy sent me great information and great directions. I came right to it.
See, and he came from Birmingham. So thank you, Speedy. And of course, we'll be back.